The Princess and the Magic Paintbrush by Melinda Spence and Brittney Patrick.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there stood a tall gray tower surrounded by hundreds of evergreen trees. This tower held captive one of the finest princesses of all. The princess's father shipped her off to this terrible place to be a slave for the wicked witch. Every morning the princess wakes up to a new list of chores she must complete by the day's end. Not completing these chores would result in the wrath of the wicked witch. On one particular day, the princess felt especially exhausted after completing her chores. She walked up the stairs, heavy with fatigue. Step after step, she marched until she finally reached her bedroom. The princess opened the door and collapsed onto her bed. "Ouch!" the princess squealed. A long, skinny object had poked her in the back. She pulled the object out from beneath her and closely observed it. Intricate carvings lined the long wooden stick. At the tip of the stick were thin but soft bristles. It was a paintbrush.
What is this doing in my bedroom? Where did this come from?
The princess thought to herself. Although the princess had no paint to use, she began to run the paintbrush along the white walls of her bedroom. As the bristles swept across the walls of the room, unique paintings began to appear. This was a magical paintbrush. Every day the princess finished her chores earlier and earlier, only to return to her room to paint. The princess was so eager to paint. However, the magical paintbrush could only complete one painting each day. These paintings were unique because the whole painting was in shades of gray, with the exception of a single portion of color. The first painting was of a beautiful garden and a cottage. The cottage door was painted a pastel pink. The next day, the paintbrush created a wonderful scene of grassy plains. A straight yellow path parted the way. The third painting depicted the grandeur of the mountains with blue streams flowing through the canyons. On the fourth day, the paintbrush created a long wooden railroad with a red train rushing by. On the fifth day, when the princess returned to her bedroom, she glanced at the series of paintings. Something caught her eye. As she walked closer to the paintings, the princess noticed words beginning to appear in the colored portions of the painting. The princess couldn't understand the words by only looking at one single painting. She took a few steps back and read the message. This is what it said.
When you found this magic paintbrush, luck fell upon you. Now you must make a choice of what you want to do. Where you want to go, the paintings show the way. Choose the place that best suits you, but remember, the paintbrush is here to stay. Shut your eyes tight and do not fear. Jump into the painting where you will then appear. Escape this dreadful tower that held you captive so long, and start a new life in a place where you belong.
After reading the poem, the princess stood in unbelief.
This is my ticket out of here,
she thought. With her arms crossed and a tapping foot, she pondered on the places where she could go.
I choose the cottage,
the princess exclaimed, and without another moment's hesitation, she shut her eyes tight and jumped into the picture. A new life began for the princess that day, and she lived happily ever after. The end.